What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Thompson Twins. And we're going back to the 1983 album Quick Step and Sidekick. And we're up to the tune, is it Love Lies Bleeding? Yeah, there's no conjunction or ampersand. So it's Love Lies Bleeding as one expression. Obviously, we've already had a tune on this album, Lies, so in a way it feels like an extension and or expansion of an earlier concept explored earlier in the record. And ultimately, you know, the idea that love and lies are intertwined and bleeding, you know, hopefully not in a physical sense, hopefully only in an emotional respect or psychological as well. But yeah, the idea that these sort of deep, passionate emotions, including deep, passionate hurt, are all sort of intertwined, and that deception or dishonesty in an intimate or emotional context can prove particularly devastating. Again, hopefully only psycho-emotionally. Though again, the imagery of bleeding, obviously, it, you know, speaks to a life essence of sort of the thing that keeps you alive. So whether that's literal or figurative, it, you know, suggests that we're on the most dire and severe of levels of emotional experience here. So yeah, it makes me think about the painful and sometimes messy experience of being in an intimate relationship over a longer timeline. I think, you know, in the early stages of a relationship, and like, you know, whether you call it infatuation or whether, you know, you feel like it's love, it's easy to sort of, you know, think about only the positive experiences that are going on. But then over time, you know, if your personalities aren't quite as well fit as you hoped, you know, there will things that will begin to erode at the relationship, maybe erode at the trust, and ultimately, you know, if someone says something that turns out to be untrue because, you know, maybe they were with someone else or whatever, the amount of pain involved, you know, cannot be underestimated, and it's not insane to compare that to sort of bleeding or indeed dying. So let's find out if it's on that level or if I'm sort of misreading the title, but let's get it. This is Thompson Twins, Love Lies Bleeding, a tune from their 1983 album Quick Step and Sidekick. What? That is like 80s funky fresh. Also the bass. Alright, so the love is personified and lies bleeding on the floor. Is there synth bass and real bass? I can't hear that whispered line. Is something dreaming or is it bleeding again? Kind of a tribal drum feel. Very danceable too. So many sonic layers. Got this feeling, that's what the whispered vocal is. The second one sounds different than the first one. Like, she definitely repeats her. I do think the second line is Something Dreaming. Really cool tune. I love that. It's not one that I remember hearing before, but it sounds like music I enjoyed growing up as a single-digit kid in the 80s. So it feels very of the time, even if I don't remember it specifically. But yeah, really cool tune. You know, it didn't seem to have like a direct connection to Lies, but yeah, ultimately it seemed like it was a sort of personification of a love, whether, you know, a love that a relationship used to be, you know, manifested as, but now lies bleeding on the floor, meaning, you know, it's tarnished and torn. Yeah, ultimately, it felt like that was sort of the atmosphere of the tune, but do let me know if there were some lines where I'm sort of missing a crucial ingredient. And yeah, sonically, as I said, a very danceable tune, lots of cool synth work, and again, it felt like there was like synth bass and maybe some like real bass as well, I'm not quite sure. But yeah, the composition of the tune was great, and like really sort of energetic, danceable track. So yeah, let me know what you think of this one. I will see you next time. Peace.